Donald Trump has got to be one of the worst businessmen that ever existed. Not only has he bankrupted almost every single business that he's ever had, now he's trying to bankrupt the entire fucking country. And he's probably going to cause a worldwide depression on top of that. A lot of you already know that my wife is in wine distribution and sales. That entire industry is freaking out right now. And it's all because Trump does not understand what a fucking tariff is or how they work. He's basically using them as some sort of a bully tactic to try and get everything for free or really cheap, and that's not how they work at all. So now he's shit-talking a lot of our other allies in the European Union. Out of nowhere, he's putting tariffs on these people just because he wants to try and lower prices here, which is not how a tariff fucking works, and it's been explained to everybody over and over again, but they don't seem to get it. So whenever he puts a tariff onto another country, they retaliate and put another tariff onto us. These retaliatory tariffs are largely targeting red states because they were responsible for putting Trump back into office for the most part. So France is putting a 50% tariff onto American whiskeys in retaliation for Trump's initial tariffs. Well, Trump thinks that's completely unfair, so he's going to put a 200% tariff on all the wine and champagne that comes out of France. And just to put a cap on his moronic ignorance, he says this will be great for the wine and champagne business in the US. First of all, Mr. Bigley Brain, you can't get champagne in America because champagne comes from Champagne, France. Sure, you can get sparkling white wine from somewhere else, but it's not going to be the same. It would be like saying, I know you really want to buy a Mercedes, but I'm going to put a 200% tariff on that Mercedes, so this will be great for the car industry. You can get yourself a Ford Fiesta. And also, he doesn't understand the basic concept of supply and demand. How are you going to be a businessman and not understand this? A lot of my wife's accounts have already told her that they don't want to bring in anything from France right now until this whole thing is figured out. And she's just one rep at one company in one state. This is nationwide. So if a lot of these businesses nationwide decide, you know what, I'm not going to buy any foreign wine right now, I'm only going to buy domestic. What do you think is going to happen to the price of those wines? By getting rid of those imports, we greatly cut down on the supply of those wines. So now the demand for the local wines is going to go way up because there's only so many bottles of each vintage. So now even your cheapest bottle of American wine is going to be an expensive bottle of American wine. And I know what you're thinking, beer drinkers. This doesn't affect me because I drink beer, but it does. What do you think people are going to turn to if they feel like they can't afford their wine? They're going to start buying the beer because it's cheaper. Only now there's a bigger demand for beer, so the prices on that's got to go up. So bravo to all of you Trump voters out there who voted for him to bring down prices. Pretty soon, most of y'all aren't going to be able to afford much of anything, and you're going to start trying to blame Joe Biden somehow. But this is on you. 100%. This is on you. And we were all screaming this at you for months before the election even got here, but you were determined to think that you knew better than everybody else. Congratulations, you fucked us all, and this is the reason why a lot of your family members and friends don't want to talk to you anymore, because you fucked over everybody in this. I used to have empathy for you people, I really did, but now I really hope you just feel so isolated and alone in the world. I would love to think that y'all are eventually going to learn your lesson. But I don't think you are now. I think you're way too far gone to be able to live in reality any longer. You voted for hate and misery for a bunch of people who are not like you. And when that hate and misery finally makes a circle and ends up back at your door, I hope you understand that you deserve this because this is exactly what you voted for.